The first time I saw MxPx was at the House of Funk, and like I didn't know who these kids were that were
Oh,
loading their stuff in, but they blew the doors off the place. When we were leaving, we were walking down the street to our car, and I told my wife, "There's a lot of great bands in the scene, but those guys are going to go somewhere." When Brandon asked me if I would work on the cover, I was like, I was into it. I think I talked to Mike Carrera on the phone, and we talked about different ideas. And I had been working at my job at the sportswear company. We had been working on these fake mascots for teams, like fake teams.
hmm
Yeah.
Like I think I did like the Seattle Rain, like literally like a raindrop
Uh-huh.
Right.
with grunge clothes on or something.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like they're like a sport, like it's a sports team. And so I had this idea of a mascot kind of idea in my head, and Mike was into it because he mentioned one of his favorite bands as far as their look was Screeching Weasel,
Mm.
because they had the
hmm
weasel.
Yep.
Hmm.
So I sketched out some stuff in my sketchbook. They were recording at the little studio, and so they invited us to come down there and talk to them about the ideas or whatever. One of the ideas is this. I've showed this on Instagram before, but this is like the first sketch I did
hmm
of
Oh, wow.
like the Pokinatcha Punk um type of thing. They were into it, and they said, "Yeah, let's do that." This is also something I've never showed before, but this is like an inking I did with a brush pen, and I did it small so it would force me to make the lines bold.
Yeah.
hmm
Mhm.
And so that's the first like closest thing to a first sketch of the Pokédex Punk.
Mm.
And then from that, I blew it up and inked it cleaner.
Nice.
This is like tracing
Yeah.
paper mounted to a
Wow.
piece of paper. But so that's the original inking that I went off of. Again, I've never showed these two things before,
That's
ever.
so cool.
That's so cool.
Um,
And like the bold lines on it, that was something that definitely like stuck out to me when I first saw the album cover. And that was actually my very first tattoo was of the Pokinatcha Punk.
oh, nice.
And when I brought the design in to have them do it, they're like, "Oh man, these are like really bold lines. Like that's so cool." So
That's great to hear. My style was kind of dictated by the work I was doing,
Mm.
Mhm.
because in in sportswear back then you had to do all the separations by hand, like I was saying. So keeping things bold was so much better than having thin little lines that I had to try to follow when I was cutting out
Mhm.
the separations.
Mhm.
And so plus it just looked better,
Yep.
and I knew it would translate to when it was small. And I was also just thinking about like what a real logo is, because I think that's one thing that kind of separated maybe me from other artists, is just like my background in graphic design and logo creation. Because like I never intended to have to draw this guy any other pose. Like
Mhm.
I'm not a animator. I
Okay.
It's a struggle when I have to try to think, okay, how would he look at a different pose? And I did struggle with that when I had to do the next, you know, teenage politics.
Mhm.
Right.
So I had to then figure out, okay, well, if he's not got this extruded, like big foot in the front, small foot in the back, like what does he look like? Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
I hadn't really thought I would ever have to deal with that, because,
Right.
normally you do something for a band and it's used one time on an album cover, and then they move on,
Mhm.
right? Or they don't survive as a band.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of a cool thing that they did so well. But also then I had to kind of try to find out, or find it in me to carry that on to other poses.